You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast.
All right. Welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I am your host, Timothy Lyons, in the studio at HQ. Joined again. Can't get rid of this guy, Randy Angston. What's up, guy?
It's Randall Angston. Get it right.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Timothy.
yeah. Timothy and Randall.
Come on, man.
I think that's a drink or a finish your beer or something.
Oh,
or
dang it. 2 shots.
Oh, man. That was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah. By the time this podcast comes out, it'll probably be the second
one?
Yeah. Anywho. All right. So what are we talking about? I don't know. Is Black Friday still open? We got.
Oh, yeah.
So pfmarketingsolutions.com/Black Friday if you want in on our Black Friday workshop, but only if you want money.
Yeah, only if you like money. If you like money, jump in.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
All right, so this show today is based around a couple of conversations we had with some of our coaching clients a while back, but I think it makes a lot of sense because this is, I think you get to a point in a business. What I'm trying to say is we get to a point to a business where you're kind of like, we're making what we're making. We have our services here. It's like, what are the other things that we can do to generate some more revenue, to maximize and optimize your space in your revenue potential?
Yeah.
We call these base hits. Tony Gwynn got into the Hall of Fame by hitting base hits.
Hitting base hits, yep.
Or maybe it was Ozzie Smith. I don't know. He was good too. The backflip guy, the wizard, Ozzie Smith. But this kind of topic comes up because in our businesses, you should, I guess, if you don't, you should have kind of your core offers. Your core offers might be large group training. It might be semi-private training, and that might be what you do. That's what we do.
Yep.
We have semi-private training, which we have a good, better, best version, and then we have our boot camp or team training, and then we also have basic access, where we don't sell a whole lot of that on purpose. So you get to that point where you've got clients that are paying what they're making, and what are the other things you can do to maximize. So we're going to talk about a couple different things you can do and think about to maybe maximize the revenue per client.
Yeah, but it's the idea like that, and that's the reason we use the term base hits, is you don't have to reinvent the wheel and throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? It's not another big grand slam like changing the entire business or reinventing yourself necessarily in order to move the needle or maximize what's available. It's you've got your core, you've got your foundation. All you need is a little bit more win. A couple of them out there.
And to give props to Jerry and Casey Washek at Fit in 42, they run a really efficient small studio model.
Yep.
They do large group in there, but they're like 1,500 square feet. Some of them might be a little bit bigger. That's kind of their offer and their model. They're very compact. They're very efficient. The way they run their operations, we've highlighted them here a couple different ways, a couple different times. But the thing was okay, this gym isn't being used from these times to these times. What if we did a basic access membership? Yeah. What would that do? Maybe if our clients wanted to come in on their lunch hour after 6 p.m. or whatever it is, they were going to offer a basic membership, general access. And I thought it made a lot of sense because it's just sitting there. Your cost per square foot is
you're still paying it.
Your rent is your rent if you don't own your building. But it's like what are you doing in those off times? Another way to think about it is if you don't do anything on Sundays, maybe lease out your space to
local sports team
or we've had a women's self-defense class come in here and kind of rent the space out. For us here at Pulse, we had this room that was kind of designed as a spin yoga kind of studio, kind of whatever. It didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so we cut this thing in half, and we have a massage therapy on one side, and we have the podcast studio on the other side.
You have another one, too. Typically, right, your downtime throughout the day, the 2 hours that you're not doing semi-private or training, you've opened the doors to some of the local corporate deals. And those periods of time is when those individuals can utilize the facility.
For a little lunchtime workout. So the point is how are you maximizing your model? Mm-hmm. Another thing that Jerry and Casey did that they thought was pretty cool was they basically took all their memberships to a weekly billing. I see both sides of this. If you think about your weekly billing, let's just take this for example, you're $200 a month or $50 a week.
Sure.
We know the math says when you bill $50 a week, you're actually collecting a lot more. I guess you're collecting probably 2 more payments?
2 more, I think, yeah.
Or $2,400 instead of, or $2,600. Do the math.
Yeah.
Long story short is the frequency changes, but people don't realize that there's that 0.33 extra week every month that, it ends up adding up a couple extra payments throughout the year, and you collect more on a total, a total annual membership than you would billing monthly.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've hit that one a couple times, but yeah, I see what it does. Like to the consumer, to them in their head, $50 a week is $200 a month, but we know it's not $200 a month. But they said nobody ever asked them.
Well, and we've heard the term, reduce it to the ridiculous, or compare it to things like, it's just a couple cup of coffees or something.
It's a dinner out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Take one less dinner out.
Yep. Yeah, things like that. What are some other ones that we've layered in or suggested or worked with clients?
Well, of course,
with?
nutrition programs, supplements, things like that.
Yeah, fascial stretch therapy, or maybe you've got other fitness professionals in your area that you can bring in during your downtime, right? Seminars, workshops. There's all sorts of things that you can do without changing
your core,
what you're known for, what you provide on a daily basis. That's the ticket.
Meal prep service, specialty programs, meaning maybe you're going to do a sports performance program, in those off times at 3 p.m. after school or whatever it is. There's those types of things. But what we're trying to do is have you look outside of just what you're offering and how do you maximize it. The open gym makes a lot of sense. The billing weekly for them made a lot of sense. Of course, you can do your ancillary products, make a lot of sense. Shoot, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's absolutely a ton of it, but I think the reason that we wanted to bring it to the table is because everybody's looking to continue to progress with business, but you don't have to just consider like changing everything or reinventing the wheel or really kind of revamping everything that you are in order to just get a little bit further down the road.
A little further ahead.
Right? If you have that core, if your business is profitable, if you know that you're solid at what you do, at your foundation, then you can take aim for those base hits, right? You don't need a ton. It doesn't need to be every member. It doesn't need to be a massive overhaul or a ton of work for the team. Maybe it's just, a couple hours a week or an hour a day or something along those lines that leads to, we were talking numbers with those boys, and I wanted to say it was something like $100,000, $120,000 a year or something that they went right to their bottom line simply by making some of these changes.
Yes and no. I know what they were saying, but like $10,000 extra a month equals $120,000 a year. Yeah, little changes over time obviously add up. So a couple things to think about. You figure we'd throw this one out there. Base hits, you don't need to make a big giant change. But the bigger takeaway in this episode is that the fact that you need to look backwards and look at what you're doing and not always look at, what's in front of me today. Analyze what's going on.
Yeah.
Pull out your P&Ls. Pull out your balance sheets and look at your mind body point of sale reports and your what you're making, where your revenue's coming from, what memberships are driving that. I would think we're a big proponent of data. We use iKismet for a lot of our data that integrates with MindBody, and we analyze what memberships are generating the most revenue and how long do those people stay?
Yeah.
And what do they look like? Are they older, younger? Where do they live? Like what are those? I want more of those people. Where do they come from? So you have to analyze and look backwards all the time. It's tough to do sometimes when you're in the weeds, but I highly suggest digging into the data, digging into the numbers. You can't make educated decisions without having the right data.
I was going to say that's where the I don't want to say necessarily say right, but that's where the probable answer lies, is in the evidence, Otherwise, you are just taking a shot. And so use the data and be able to, interpret the data and then use that to your benefit.
Definitely.
That's smart.
Cool. All right. Get to work, guys. What are you listening to the show for? Get to work.
Yeah. Get some base hits today.
All right. We'll see you guys on the next show. Bye.